So the really important thing to remember about our reactive bullshit is that it's basically when we're having an emotional reaction to what somebody's saying that we're either conscious or unconscious of, and we're going into some state of defending ourselves, right? We react. We either attack or we react by collapsing, right? And again, here we have the hard, like get really hard and shield ourselves by defending and attacking, or we have the collapse. And what we want to cultivate is the relaxed response of receiving and acknowledging somebody's experience. What we want to cultivate is the capacity to receive and acknowledge somebody else's experience and express our own experience from a state of ownership. That's it, in the simplest form. That's what we're cultivating here. And to not take their stuff on, not take their projections on, and not project onto them, right? Stated in the negative. Sometimes we're conscious of our emotional response and we still don't really have a cultivated sort of, there's no choices within reach for us in that moment of doing something other than projecting onto somebody, or attacking, or collapsing. But the main tool that we want to cultivate here to carve through our reactive bullshit is empathy. All right? And I'm really specific about what I mean by empathy when we're playing the no bullshit game, when we're playing the nonviolent communication game. Because empathy is often referred to by people, I'm an empath, I'm empathic, right? As what I would call the universal human sort of capacity for a state of rapport with people. We feel people, our nervous systems sync up. Like it's been proven in 1,000, psychological research studies about the ways that our nervous systems sync with each other when we're connected to somebody. And in that state, we can feel feelings that are not necessarily ours, they're somebody else's. Our bodies mimic it, and then we start telling ourselves stories or think it's ours, or tell ourselves a story about why they're feeling that way, all that stuff, right? That's empathy as it's commonly used. And that can be, talking about codependence, right? That can be the state of like not understanding where my boundary is, And that's not what I call the gong fu of empathy, the practice of empathy. Gong fu literally just means hard work. It means it's practice. The gong fu of empathy is cultivating the capacity to be aware of our universal human needs and to allow somebody to have their own experience and listen to it and acknowledge the validity of their experience from their perspective, even if you don't agree with their conclusions. Right? You don't have to agree with somebody's story to find things you can totally validate about their experience. Right? Another way I like to describe expressing yourself in a no bullshit way is you can never be wrong. You can never be wrong about, occasionally you're wrong about your observations, like I don't know what color her socks are now, but you can't be wrong about your observations and your feelings, right? And you can be anchored in your integrity when you talk about that. You can definitely be wrong about a lot of the projections you make about people, and it just makes things messier. And so when we're listening empathically to people, we're listening for what is it? How is this person feeling, and what are they needing? Right? I want to demonstrate 4 ways of receiving a difficult to hear message to give you a sense of what we're talking about. Who's got a projection that they'd like to throw at me? Something that somebody said to you that triggered you and you didn't know how to respond, or maybe it stimulated a defensive reaction for you or a defensive response. So you be her and you say that to me. I'm first going to demonstrate what it looks like to project out in response to this statement. So go ahead. Bitch, what are you talking about? I'm not present. I am right here. I'm staring into your eyes. I'm here. I'm fully present. What's wrong with you that you can't feel me? Right? That's projection out. Right? How dare you say I'm not present? This is me over here. Let me manage your perceptions of me so that you perceive me the way I want you to perceive me. Right? So that's projection out. Let's go projection in. Oh God, I'm such a fucking loser. I know, I've been at this for years and I still don't know how to be present with anybody. Like, I'm never going to get this right. Right? That's projection in. That's taking it on. That's collapsing. The first one was hard. The second one was the collapse, right? So let's look at what empathy in and empathy out looks like. Let's start with empathy out. I'm hearing that you're not experiencing a sense of presence with me. I'm wondering if you're feeling disappointed about that or curious. I'm guessing you're really wanting presence, really longing for that. Something like that, right? Just acknowledging this person's experience. Oh, you're really wanting presence. Wonder if you're feeling disappointed. That's just me like saying yes to what they just offered me, to their experience. And empathy in, I could give myself a little empathy, right? So go ahead and say it again.
You're not being present with me right now.
Mm-hmm. So I'm going to put my hand on my head. This kind of signifies that this is my internal dialogue right now as I'm sort of checking in with myself. Just take a breath like, man, I feel ashamed when I hear that. Because I really value presence. And there's part of me that feels angry, wanting to be seen for how much I value presence. And I feel confused because I want to understand her experience and where the disconnect is. Right? Those are just 3 ways of connecting with my feelings and my needs. Needs for understanding, my need for presence, and my desire for connection, and to be seen, right? To be seen for my innocence and my intention.